What is up, everybody? I'm Nolex Given, and today we are playing Goldilocks until the wheels fall off. A little bit of context, I actually played this game just yesterday, right after recording my 1,000 subscribers special, so part of me was like, okay, that is a great final chapter to the Goldilocks story, and I'm ready to bookend this thing and just call it a wraps on the Goldilocks streak and have some fun with it, because I have been typically pretty nervous while playing this hero as to not lose my streak. So for this one I went in with a totally different approach. I was like, you know what? Let's lose. And that sounds very silly, but I went in thinking, because I know I'm going to show you guys the game where I eventually lose anyways, let's just make it a fun one. So that way, it's a nice game to put on the channel regardless. Then I don't have to worry about the streak, and it'll actually make me feel less pressure. So I went into this game not really feeling any pressure, because I figured the last one would be a great one to end the streak on, and hopefully that makes sense. It might help to understand some of my plays that I'm going to make later on in this video, because we'll get a little bit silly with it here. And we're off to a pretty strong start as well with two larger characters, and it is actually strong enough that we are going to be able to battle up against an Easter egg. Now, my opponent has Easter egg plus Black Cat, which is basically just Easter egg, but we have just enough stats to take down their golden Humpty Dumpty. We lose our Humpty Dumpty in the process, but at least we keep Zelhua in check for the rest of the lobby. We did our good deed here, you know? And then looking at this 3.0 shop, I think that this is pretty straightforward. I could see selling off my tutus in order to pick up one of these other 3-cost characters, but I also just like picking up both of these Slay characters here and then the health potion, and really just picking up the health potion for Cinderella, so that way we can grab a treasure off of that later. But still a pretty reasonable start. We did lose our egg, but we're playing up against Geppetto. That should be a nice character in terms of getting some slays up against. We're not quite going to be able to slay with the Brave Princess though, unfortunately. So yeah, a little bit awkward there. And then on my 3.1 turn, I'm going to take this kidnap because I do want the treasure from Cindy sooner rather than later. And then I just pick up the Ogre Princess with my last bit of gold. And then I'll sell off the Blind Mouse for a different character. Could have gone for the Humpty again, just to get a little bit more powerful, but I don't care if we take some damage. I'd rather have the econ in picking up a character that isn't going to go away. And by that I mean, if we lose the combat and lose Humpty, we won't be able to sell Humpty once we hit 4.0. Whereas if we take the Sherwood Sure Shot, even though it's not as strong of a character, we can still sell it down the line, which will allow us to effectively like bank a gold here with it. So that's kind of the idea. Hopefully Brave Princess and Vampire can get some slays on, and unfortunately that's not going to be the case. They're going to get attacked right into. So we're going to be taking some big damage on this combat. We do get the slay with Ogre Princess, then we also steal a character with Kidnap, which is my opponent's Brave Princess. So we're not looking so great as far as Brave Princess completion, but now we've got a Brave Princess that's almost done, so that's nice. I pick up this Wicked Witch to go along with both of my Vampires, thinking that's nice, and then I realize we got a Good Witch from Ogre Princess, so I can use that to support some of my other characters. I should have cast the Shrink Drink to flip over Cinderella. That was my mistake, but I'm never punished. We get to roll and shard of the Ice Queen something here, and I don't want to shard any of my tier 3 characters because I kind of like all of them, so I just wind up sharding that Sure Shot on the bench. And I'm also not going to pick up Ogre Princess because we're about to hit 4.0 next turn. So I just want to save all of my economy, try to pick up some dragons next turn. That could be really, really good with this bounty board. But this bounty board is already pretty good and pretty silly because we have got so many Slay characters already on this board. So we're going to have some nice bonus gold going into 4.0. We will take a little bit of damage, but we get 2 extra bonus gold, so not too shabby. And then we get to pick up a dragon here. So it just mirrors this game going super fast. I just feel like I've got a lot to say and not enough time to do it all, but I'll pick up Sporko to help my Brave Princes slay. No, that sounds like I'm saying princes. Brave princesses slay, and then I will pick up another Sporko. And I'm also debating locking on to a Turkish Delight. I think that that could be good. XP's always good when, I mean, it's just always good, full stop, but it's also good, I think, when you're playing Goldilocks. It does throw off the math a little bit of being able to purchase multiple extra units with your bonus gold, but we can make up for that by having a lot of characters in our hand, plus the bounty board can get us a little bit more gold. Now, I'm really interested in picking up a River Wish Mermaid. I think that would be a lot of fun to pair with our Lightning Dragon and bounty board. That would obviously be really good. Unfortunately, my Brave Princess that is close to completion is going to get attacked into, and that's like really the main silly part of this game, is I'm still trying to make this Brave Princess work, despite the fact that it has been so slow to activate, and I probably should have just given up on it, but what can you do? We're having some fun here, and then I'm going to wind up selling off my Crafty to pick up another Lightning Dragon, and I probably should put these Lightning Dragons in some capacity. So I will cut the Wicked Witch to throw in a Lightning Dragon. And then I'm still going to keep both of the Sporkos in 5 and 6, so that way my Brave Princesses have the highest chances of slaying. One gets the slay, the second one is going to trade with doubly, and then I'm going to wind up taking a little bit of damage here. We'll take 7 down to 15, but that's okay. We get our first Tier 3 treasure, and Cloak of the Assassin is pretty good with how many slay characters we currently have. So we can now add a Lancelot to this board, and we can also add a Southern Siren. Southern Siren's just going to be a good over-leveled character, so I am going to want to pick up that. And then I'm also going to just pick up Robin Hood as like a good character that's will add power to the board, because we are down to 15. We've definitely been taking our fair share of damage, so I want to smarten up here a little bit and get a little bit stronger, and that's also going to include a Worm Root on that Southern Siren. But I think this is pretty strong now. Our board looks quite large. We're building some economy. I think this Southern Siren is really going to go quite a long way, and then we'll also have the opportunity to potentially, hopefully, pick up a Tier 3 treasure off of Brave Princess, so there's a lot of cool stuff that we can do with that. And we are indeed going to get the slay. It's a slay and stay, and we can see we are much bigger than this Wonder Waddle here, as Southern Siren gets to steal a Medusa that trades with Medusa, and then we get some bonus gold from my opponent's prize pick. So really good stuff, but even better is that we get a treasure map off of Brave Princess. So now all we have to do is give Lancelot 3 more attack, and we'll get a Tier 7 treasure. And I'm thinking Lightning Dragon could find us 3 of swords, but then I realize it's actually going to find us a Tier 6 treasure and totally waste our opportunity to grab a Tier 7. So, huge mistake. It's not horrible to pick up a Tier 7 treasure, or Tier 6 treasure rather, but I really wanted that Tier 7 treasure, as you can tell. I do have a lot of options to think about here, because XP is obviously interesting, especially with the fact that we've got this Embiggening Stone. We could go XP, sell the Golden Chicken, pick up Wombats in Disguise. We don't even actually have to win the combat. And then I'll pick up Bad Moon, by the way. But the main thing that I'm thinking here is I want to find a River Wish Mermaid. Now, I wind up getting a little bit distracted and not finding a River Wish Mermaid. I pick up a Bad Moon, which makes it more difficult for Lancelot to activate, and then I True Love's Kiss my Robin Hood and grab a Green Knight. So all of this is a little bit awkward, but because Lance grabbed a Slay, the Bad Moon gave him some additional health, so we're actually going to be able to activate him right now just by supporting the Green Knight on him. So that's an easy enough way to grab a Tier 5 treasure, a little bit roundabout, but 5 extra gold for the turn, not too shabby, and we'll use that extra gold to pick up a pair of Southern Sirens and grab a Horn of Olympus. We've got a lot of support treasures here, or a lot of support characters here, despite not having the ones that we really want, Baba Yaga and River Wish Mermaid. Horn can still be a very, very strong treasure. And I think this is going to give us good opportunities to power spike going into 6.0. We also have the potential of using Lancelot to grab a Hand of Midas going into 6.0, which is extremely powerful. And I'll move some things around here now that we've got the Horn of Olympus and can play these characters in any position. But a 52 attack, 55 health Southern Siren is absolutely huge and can easily just carry us a little bit. And it luckily even steals a pair of Luckies, which are both going to be able to activate here. So really sweet stuff. We actually do wind up taking some damage this combat, which is a little bit awkward, but that's okay. I will take some damage for the fact that now we've got cheaper characters in our shop. That's pretty cool. And the pair of Empress Peas is definitely seeming pretty strong to me. I also like the trees, and we can pick up both of them because of those Luckies. So I'm going to toss the Ambrosia, and then I'll have to sell a few more cards here just to make some room. But we're playing trees and we're playing peas. That could have been a good title for this video too. I'll have to sell off one more thing to make some room. We're done with the River Wish Mermaid shenanigans. I could go for Hercules. That's not super crazy, but one thing that is kind of crazy, if you were paying any attention, this Phoenix Angel actually hit level 6 like a long time ago because we gave them that Wish Upon a Star, and so I'm actually really nervous that they are super strong. So I'm going to pick up a secret stash here, just a little bit more health to potentially allow me to hold on. And it looks like they're doing some fun stuff. They completed a Hercules, and then they evil twinned that Hercules with a Wand of Weirding to grab a bunch of evil Hercules, which could scam us with the pumpkin. But wait a minute, my opponent's only at 8 health. Despite them doing a bunch of sweet stuff, we're actually going to take them out here, and that was one of the players that I was definitely potentially worried about in this lobby. As you can see, the fact that I tossed an Embiggening Stone just to pick up potentially 3 more health to save us. But now, well, I was going to say, I don't know if we're playing peas or trees, but here's some peas. So let's pick those up, please, and grab another tier 6 treasure. And we do have to decide, do we want to toss the secret stash or do we want to toss like the Ambrosia? And this is a really tricky decision that honestly, I'm not sure I know the answer to, because I'm still a little bit nervous that we could just take some damage and die. So I'm going to hang on to the secret stash for just a little bit longer. I'll throw the Southern Siren in and then lock this shop. It's got 2 really good characters in it with the Empress P and the Green Knight, though I think I'm just going to go for the Empress P in this case. Phoenix Feather is kind of a tricky treasure to balance because first and foremost, it's going to look to activate on our trees. But then once our Empress P dies, I was trying to set it up so that Empress P was our lowest or our highest attack character. So that might have to do with like cutting the Burning Beard or something like that, but it's a little bit awkward. I'm not going to stress out about it if it doesn't work, but then when I see a Knighthood, I realize that's another opportunity to grab an upgraded Empress P, and I think that's the direction that I want to go in a little bit more, especially if we can Phoenix Feather on one of these Empress Ps. It's just going to be so many stats. I wind up kidnapping because I actually feel strong enough here. Though, if I had realized we were playing up against Peter Pants, I probably would have gone for Lightning Bolt, because what's Peter Pants actually going to have that I'm going to want to steal? Probably not too much here. But hopefully our Empress P can trigger off of that Phoenix Feather and resummon itself. That would be really powerful for us. Now, because my other Empress P died first, that isn't going to work out. That's just going to put the Phoenix Feather onto my Green Knight in the back line. But eventually my Empress P will die, and that will give a bunch of stats to my backline characters, and yeah, definitely give us some nice opportunities there. Now I'm just going to go for the Knighthood and kind of go all in on this Empress P strategy. I'm kind of, peas and trees, oscillating back and forth here. We played trees yesterday. Let's do something fun and potentially go out with a bang to end this Goldilocks streak here. But yeah, I figured, like, this, I think, makes me a little bit stronger for the turn, and I'm also, I don't want a Knighthood on the Ashwood Elm, because I'm still very into this idea of having Empress P trigger the Phoenix Feather, that can just be a ton of stats. So yeah, that's why I just go for the knighthood on the other Empress P. And even if it actually just winds up being one of my backline characters that I already pump up by Empress P, I think that's a pretty good use of it as well. As long as it doesn't just like respawn in Ashwood Elm. That's like the only thing that I'd really like to avoid. And we're going to deal some damage here to this Pied Piper. We hit him for 9 down to 11, and then we're up against the Ghost. So we've done it. We've probably made it into the finals, as one of my two competitors is probably going to take out the other one, so feeling pretty good. And then I'm going to pick up an Ashwood Elm triple and finally toss this bounty board, I think. Just actually go for the win here at this point. If you lose, you're probably dead. So let's toss the bounty board and go for the Wand of Weirding, and then I'm going to go for this Drink Me potion and this Shrink Drink, and, or no, this one's called a Drink Me potion. Yeah, sorry. Drink Me potion, and see if we can find any cool spells off this Wand of Weirding. For the final combat, it's going to be really clutch to just cast some type of scam spell twice, and that will definitely lead to a potential victory. Again, the only way that this board gets a little bit awkward is if my Ashwood Elm dies early, but if it doesn't die early, that's going to mean that my Green Knight is my Phoenix Feathered unit, and once we get to this stage of the game, it should be pretty easy to find the win. So now we're up in the finals against Pied Piper. And sorry, my camera went out there for a second, but I'm taking a look at what they have to see if this fog is worthwhile. Looks like it really isn't. Probably going to put the Burning Beard back in. Could consider a Flourish, give Ashwood Elm a whole bunch more health. Could also consider a Kidnap. My opponent does have some pretty cool characters, and a double casted Kidnap could be cool, but we don't have that extra 3 health cushion, so really don't want to lose. So I'm going to roll and see if I can find a relevant spell, and a Drink Me potion is good, but I'd have to sell off 2 of my characters in order to pick up this Pigomorph. And you can see the econ has been so crucial. If I didn't waste the gold picking up Hercules next turn or last turn, then I might have had the opportunity to actually double Pigo here, which could have been good. Now, I'm just going to go for a double Blaze of Glory, give +20/+20 to Burning Beard, and that will be a thick enough creature that it's going to be able to survive until my Empress P's die, which means Green Knight gets to grab that Phoenix Feather again. And by the way, we've got enough stats just to beat my opponent. So now I get to Pigomorph them twice. And I feel like we actually just won this thing because we had 100% to win a last combat, and now we're going to scam 2 of their units right off the bat. So I don't know how this happened, but yeah, the streak is still alive, and we'll keep going until the wheels fall off, but somehow we did it here. No spoiler, they're not going to be strong enough after they get Pigomorphed twice, so there you go. There's another win, baby. So I was not expecting this. Definitely shows what you can do when you are just kind of playing without the nerves. This was a pretty crushing game, and I was not expecting it to play out this way, but I was just having fun with it. I was doing silly things with Bounty Board and Brave Princesses in the mid-game. Despite my better judgment, I will normally, if I'm on 3.2 and my Brave Princess has not yet slayed, then I will typically just bench this character or sell it, you know? Yeah, it worked out for us. It eventually, it actually completes before the other one, I believe, right? Yeah, it winds up completing first. That gets us the, oh no, this one did, or maybe I moved them around. Yeah, I did move them around. So this one grabbed us the Cloak of the Assassin. The other one gave us the treasure map, which I kind of ruined, but still we were able to do some really sweet stuff here and pick up some peas and trees. It was a very strong 6.0, I think. We didn't quite get the Hand of Midas, but being able to pick up so many cards from that opening shop was certainly quite powerful right here. And then we basically just rode that board to the end game. We didn't really do much else. We just took the level 6.0 power spike and ran that to the finish. Rest of the lobby almost dead. The big thing here was killing this Phoenix Angel, because if we had let this Phoenix Angel go off a little bit longer unchecked, they would have been super scary. So was really happy to take care of them here. And then once we did, rest of the lobby did not put up too much of a fight. So the streak is alive. Is that 10-0 now? I think so. Yeah, because I had the 8-0 video on like Monday, and then 9-0 would have been the 1K special, so I'm 10-0 with Goldilocks. Pretty crazy stuff. Like I said, this game was just played yesterday. I'm trying to not have too much of a backlog because I know that there's a big update coming soon to Storybook Brawl. So once that update comes, I want to roll out fresh, new board content. The game's going to look a lot different, I think, and a lot of different art assets are going to be changed and stuff. So I haven't really been keeping too much of a backlog, but I will be make suring. Oh my gosh, my words are going crazy here at the end. I'm going to make sure that we get to look at any Goldilocks games that we play, and we'll keep playing until the wheels fall off. But for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.